is your boy DT on DT's Unfiltered Uncensored on an episode on Unfiltered Truth. And today, I got a special guest on my show. And man, when I say I'm excited for this show, that I've been looking forward to this for the longest. One of my favorite reality shows that comes on Netflix is called The Circle. If you haven't watched him, I suggest you go watch it. It's on season 7. I have seen every season from 1 to 7. And the young man I got on my show today, not just saying this because I told him, I'm not just saying this because we talked on social media, but he is my favorite Circle contestant of all time. And I got to say, he played one of the best games on the show, not the best, but he was in the top 3. Man, I got to say, I'm excited to have you on my show. Welcome to my show, KFern, better known as Kevin Fernandez. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. So that was the best intro I think I have ever gotten. Thank you so much, DT. I appreciate you. It's crazy because I've been hyped to get on here and talk a little bit of my stuff, but I appreciate you so much for having me onto the show, and let's get into it today. I'm excited.
I'm excited, man. But before we jump into, tell everybody a little bit about you first, then we'll jump into the questions.
Okay, for sure. Let's just give them all. What's up, everybody? As DT already told you, I'm Kevin Fernandez. As some of you guys might know me, I'm KFern from season 7 of The Circle on Netflix. Runner up, we were almost there. But I'm from San Diego, California, and I work in wine and alcohol sales as a district manager up in the Bay Area now. So that's a little bit about you. You said what now?
Not a lifeguard?
Hey, we're going to get into the signs of somebody drowning. By the way, Deb, where's my floaty around if you need it? Where's my floaty?
And I was so mad that I'm going to tell you, I went to Wikipedia and they have listed beside your name, said his profession was a professional lifeguard. Man, I died laughing. I said, no, they didn't do this dude like that. No, they didn't. Didn't.
Not a lifeguard, but life of the party. Yes.
Definitely the life of the party. Okay, man. So we're going to jump into what we're going to do today, y'all. We're going to talk a little bit about The Circle. I got a couple games I'm going to play with KFern. We also going to dive into a little bit about his life. Know a little bit more about him. So I want to know about him as well. It's not all about The Circle. I know it's about The Circle, but let's know about the person too, because he is a person outside The Circle. So we're going to get into all of that. So first, I want to ask you, how did you feel when you found out you were selected to be a contestant on The Circle?
Honestly, I'm thinking now I just went back into that moment. Disbelief and just hype. And that hype was halted real quick though. I'll tell you why, because I get the phone call and the casting producer says, "Hey, what are you doing right now?" And I was about to go to a work meeting. And she goes, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "Yeah." And she just goes, "You're on." And I'm like, "You're freaking kidding me." She goes, "No, Kev, you're on." And I'm so hyped up. I'm like, "Let's go. Oh my gosh, I need to call my parents. And she goes, "Take it all in right now. But yes, you are on. You're confirmed. Go ahead, call your parents. And let's get this thing rolling." And so I'm all happy. I call my mom. Mom, I'm on. I made it on The Circle. First thing she says, "What about work?" I'm like, screw work. I'm about to be a TV star. Are you kidding me? Forget work. I'm about to be on Netflix, baby. So for those of you who don't know, I come from my parents are very my mom's traditional Dutch background. My mom or dad, traditional Mexican Portuguese. So this TV stuff was so new to them. So their first thought process was work while I was just excited about it. But truthfully, it was something that getting an opportunity like this was something that I've been working towards for a while. So I was just stoked when I got that opportunity, that call. I remember that call.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Did you know about The Circle before you did?
Yes. Okay. So COVID times, right? We watched everything on the planet at that point. I've been hanging out with my brother 24/7 in isolation. And I'm like, okay, I'm sick of this guy and I'm sick of all the shows we've already watched. And then we see this new show called The Circle get dropped on Netflix like around 2020. One of those shows we were like, we haven't heard of it. Let's check it out. And we watched the episode and we kind of looked at each other. Oh, that was pretty good. Let's watch one more. And we watch another one and we look at each other. And then next thing you know, we're texting each other like the next day being like, we got to get home and watch The Circle, bro. We got to get home and finish The Circle. So I had seen season 1 before, but I had not seen any other seasons aside from that. So I wasn't necessarily like a Circle super fan, but I was a fan of the show.
Okay, cool. And what did you think about the first season?
Fire.
It don't seem like you were high on it because you only watched one episode in one season.
No, I thought it was fun. I watched the entire season 1, and I thought that Joey, Shubes, Chris, they were hilarious. Like, I thought they were so funny. And then, but it was just one of those things where I'm not a huge reality TV guy. I watched growing up, we had one family staple, The Amazing Race. That was like all the reality TV we watched. And so I really
seen every episode of that.
Fire show.
I've seen every season of that. Yes.
We'll talk about you and I being partners on it. Come on.
No.
And so,
long as you do the dangerous ones when they climb in buildings, I could do everything else. I could eat the food. I could do all that.
That's a bet. But before that, I truly didn't watch I didn't watch like a ton of like TV shows in general, just because at that point in my life, it was so hectic with doing the decathlon in college for track and field. And I was going to a college that was pretty demanding academically and like social life and stuff. So I didn't get into reality TV shows like that. But then when it was COVID and all that stuff was kind of pushed to the side for a second, I really got into that season of The Circle. But then when things resumed and picked up, I kind of didn't really keep up with it as much. So yeah, I really just saw season 1 for the most part.
Okay, cool, man. Well, glad you actually was picked as a contestant because I got to see you perform on camera and it was awesome, man. Funny thing is, you're gonna laugh at this. I thought you was a white boy. But I did not know you wasn't white until probably episode 6.
The problem is this Bay Area fog, people. I don't get the UVs anymore. No, everybody does. And so then that's why people think it's a perm too. They're like, oh, this white boy with his perm and stuff.
I didn't think it was a perm. I knew it was your hair. I could tell. I knew it was your hair.
Thank you.
Oh, God, DT. I'm not lying. I knew it was your hair.
Thank you, DT. Please tell that to the rest of America. I appreciate you.
Tell them stop hating on you.
Come on. Twins. But so I'm Mexican, Portuguese, and Dutch. People, the last name's Fernandez, from crying out loud. Like, we don't get that out of just thin air,
I'm be honest, I didn't pay attention to you last night. I just knew you was KFern for a
long
time.
Fair.
Then I started doing research. Then I said, okay. Then I realized, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see I forgot the Circle had actually came out. So when I hit you up, when I actually hit you up on Instagram, I had just finished watching it. I literally had just finished watching the season. I had binge watched it and stuff like that. So I did not know it was on, and they had me hooked. I used to watch it at work. Like literally, I have them watch it at work. I didn't want to be bothered.
Yes, let's go. No, okay, that's a good point. Because the cast did bring that up, however, though, because season 6 and season 7 did not get any type of marketing. Like we didn't get any media posts. I mean, one of the things that I was the most excited about going into the Circle was in previous seasons in the intro, they did all these crazy things like in these big circles and stuff and like had these cool behind the scenes shots and whatnot. We didn't get any of that type of stuff. And it's because every season of the Circle before us was filmed in the UK, where they have like this big setup for the Circle because that's where the show originated from. But season 6 and 7 were filmed in Atlanta in the US for the first time. So they didn't have like all those setups like they do over there in the UK. I low-key felt robbed because we did my little intro and then they're like, all right, and we're done. And I go, where's like the Circle that I'm going to be like sitting in? Like, where's all the extra? I didn't get to hit my Dougie yet in front of the screen. Like, where's the screen where I dance in front of it and stuff,
Right. And I know exactly where the circle filmed that too, because I'm from Atlanta, so I know that area very well. So when I
Okay,
seen it there, that's okay. That's where it's at and stuff like that. So let me ask you a question. This is one of my first questions I want to ask you. Were all y'all living in the apartment? Were y'all living on the same floor, or was it the separate floors y'all was on? Do you know?
Separate floors. Separate floors.
Okay.
Because like you could.
Was the wall soundproof as well?
See, the problem is that you can hear like maybe a stomp or something from here and there, but production also like lives in that. It lives and works in that building with you, right?
Okay.
So if you hear a noise of sorts, like maybe it is a stomp or like someone walking by or whatever, you have no idea if it's like production, someone on production, or like somebody bringing you your groceries that day, or whether it is a contestant or something like that. So you might hear noises, but you don't know who it is, because there are a lot of people in that building, like more than you think.
Okay. So it's separate floors. So some people probably like maybe two contestants on this floor, but on the opposite end of the building.
Exactly. That's how I assume it was. Because I mean, the minute I left the room at any time, say they go, okay, they didn't even call me. Production called me KFern the whole time. So they'd be like, all right, KFern, like it's time for you to go to the gym. Let's go. And so when you're gonna go to the gym or the balcony, whatever it may be, they come with these like either blackout goggles or like this blindfold, and then these noise canceling headphones where they're bumping music and stuff. And I kid you not, a Grim Reaper cloak. They put a Grim Reaper cloak that covers like your whole face and everything. And like someone will walk you to the gym, or they'll walk you to the pool balcony or whatever. So no one, if there is a chance, no one recognizes you or anything.
Okay. The hallways, we see when they be walking down the hallway looking cool. Mm-hmm. Is that a studio? Or is that really the hallways y'all walk in?
It's a hallway, I'm pretty sure, on like a completely different floor that is like set for that filming. So like that hallway isn't really like you going to that person's door. Like when it's all dramatic, me walking to the finale and stuff, like it's a set hallway that they go to film that at.
Okay. I figured that looked like a studio. I wasn't sure. So did your profile pic? Let's talk about that. Cause this is what I didn't like you. I'm gonna be honest with you. We keep it 100. This is DT Unfiltered Truth.
Unfiltered. We're unfiltered here, man.
I'm a kid. I thought you like a douchebag in your profile pitch.
Damn it! Everybody.
I said you're going to be. I said, this one he chose the wrong pitch. Cause I said they're gonna look at this old total douchebag right there. Totally. Cause you like a college boy who probably thinks he's the shit. And I said that's going to get him eliminated. I said, why did he choose this picture? He should have chosen a more upbeat, happy picture.
DT, you nailed it on the head with that. College frat douchebag is what I was giving off, or just college douchebag kid is what I absolutely was giving off. Okay, so, and that's a great question. I think that there's a reason that picture got chosen, but basically you compile all these pictures together. They ask you a ton of pictures before you go onto the show. Like you probably send them hundreds and hundreds of pictures and videos, whatever it may be. And then they cycle through and, kind of decipher which ones are the best to have on the show. There's a lot of things that can eliminate pictures. So like if there's a logo that's super prominent in the picture, they can't use that because they're not sure how that works. And so I send them all my pictures. And out of all of them, I didn't find out what my profile picture was going to be until I was boarding the plane to Atlanta to go film. And I look at that picture, and DT, that was a picture from like 2 years ago or something when I was in college. And I'm like, dang, that's the one we're going to go with? Because
they chose your picture.
They go like, they'll be like, we're gonna choose, this is like the small grouping, like this is like the 4 pictures that we're gonna kind of have you choose from for your profile picture, but they'll kind of be like, this is the one that should be your profile picture, to be honest. And so then
So they
yeah,
want you to look like a douchebag.
I'm convinced they wanted me to be the douchebag villain, for crying out loud.
Now I forgive you, Kevin. Now I understand why. Because I'm like, why did Kevin choose this picture out of all his pictures? Because first thing I see is a douchebag. And
No,
you're not
literally.
at all. Your personal, no, you're not. You're not. But that picture wasn't, and I'm not saying it's a good picture, not knocking it. It's a good picture. But when you look at it, first time I'm thinking, especially I'm being a black man on the other side looking at, oh, he a douchebag right there. He an asshole right there. No, I don't like him. That'd be the first thing I say about it. Like, I don't like him. And something like that. So,
and
go ahead.
I don't blame you for it. And I'm pretty sure I can tell you one person who immediately goes, douchebag. Shout out to Deb. She immediately was like, she asked me the same thing. She was like, Kev, your picture was so douchey. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know. And so yeah, I mean, even me looking at that picture, like it gives off college douchebag.
But we know you're not. We know you're not. Next question. Did y'all have any restrictions on what y'all could cook? Such as, could y'all fry food if y'all want to?
Yeah. No, so you can fry up food. You can really cook whatever, right? The only restriction I would say is like, it's not like you can just go and use the grill whenever you want, the one that's up by the pool. The one thing, it didn't happen with our season. I know I talked with some people from other seasons, and like Miles, he like dang near started a fire when he was chefing up. And so I guess that he got cooking privileges taken away from him after that, and stuck to meal prep that they brought him. But my problem is I can't cook.
The picture said it all.
That's good.
The picture said it all. So I could have been there. If I was in, I could have made some buffalo wings, because I love me some buffalo wings. So I could have made that. They would let me fry that.
DT, you could fry up whatever you want. And all you do is you write down on a piece of paper. So like they come every, like, I think it's like every 2 days or 3 days, they'll go and grocery shop for you. You write down on a piece of paper everything that you want to cook for like those couple of days or whatever. You leave that paper on the kitchen counter, and then they'll be like, all right, Kev, like we'll have you go to your room and we're going to film like this in your room, or like we'll have you go to your room for a quick break and have you read or something. And while you're in your room, someone comes into your apartment, grabs that grocery list, goes out, buys it. And then when you're sleeping, they go ahead and toss everything like into the fridge or like onto into the cupboards, onto the cabinet.
Okay, so if I would have been tonight and I would have cooked, y'all was like, oh, we know as a black man in here, we smell fried chicken over there. Y'all would have gave me. Y'all knew if I would have been a catfish and there would have been no black person out there, there's a, yeah, we know somebody black here. We know somebody. One of these pictures of catfish. Somebody's a catfish up here. Somebody's a catfish. Because I smell fried chicken and I smell wings, and I know there's no contestant that's black. There's no contestant that's black up there. So who's a catfish now? I'm sure somebody's a catfish.
I'm dead, bro. No, dude, like that's the one time where I really was like, man, I should have watched some cooking YouTube before this or whatever, because you can only air fry chicken so many times, you know, when you're living there for 3 weeks.
I hate air fried chicken. People love it. I don't. My mom loves it. People love it. I can't stand. I got an air fryer, but I don't do chicken. I do other things, but not chicken and that. What did you eat? What was your main thing that you ate majority of the time?
I'm about to sound like a child, DT. I'm about to sound like a child.
Pop-Tarts.
Dino nuggets and chicken tenders.
That's what you ate? The whole time for 3
Dude,
weeks?
no, I had that for so I had that for the first couple of days because at first I was like, I don't want to be asking for too much. I'm already out here on this show, yada yada yada. And then after a while, they were like, Kev, you can order, like, get what you want to get. So then since I can't cook, I just started getting like a bunch of like pre kind of packaged meals that I could that came with easy instructions, or I could toss into the microwave or whatever it may be. I can't cook, bro. Like, so what was I gonna do? I would love to get a steak, but
What
what was I
about
gonna do?
frozen pizza? You could got some frozen pizzas and put them in
Oh,
the
okay.
oven.
I had frozen pizzas and stuff. Yeah, it was a bunch of frozen
Okay.
foods. I eat terrible, so I was having frozen pizzas. I was having chicken tenders. I was having like pizza bagels and stuff like that. Like teenage me would have been living it up for real.
Right. Um, we go jump a little bit around on here. When y'all
Yeah.
had the group chats, how long did they usually last? Like the one we see on TV, how long did they normally last?
I usually like to say a 5-minute conversation that you see on TV that takes 5 minutes takes 30 minutes or longer to film easily. Like I would say even more towards like a 45 or maybe an hour or something, because it's not voice automated. It's not like Siri. Like the minute it leaves your lips, it's already popping up on the screen, right? So you'll say something,
Right.
and then somebody is, I don't know who, but somebody is typing it up onto the screen. And sometimes it'll take a second for it to get onto the screen, or like, they're human. So there'll be a typo or something, and then they delete it, yada, yada, yada. But when you send that message out, now they're waiting for everybody else to like have their reaction about it and start to make their like response to it and stuff. So sometimes I would send a message out, and then I would just be like sitting there twiddling my thumbs or wiping the counter or something for 7 minutes before I get anything kind of back to me.
Okay. And y'all got like intercoms in y'all
Yeah.
apartment that tells y'all when they're going and when it's time to set. You got to repeat it over again so they can type it out at a stage like that.
Yep, exactly that. Yeah, we got the intercom. They call it the voice of God, throughout the whole apartment.
The voice of God.
Mm-hmm.
The voice of God. I don't know how I like about that, but the voice of God.
See,
I know it's not you. Did the producer teach y'all how to pronounce contestant's name, or was there another way you had to figure it out? Because ain't no way where y'all to figure out how to pronounce Jadeja that quick.
When you started that question, I literally got flashbacks, because we went through everybody's profile at the very start, and you talk about the profile and you kind of decipher, oh, this is someone I could see myself getting along with. And then Jadeja's profile comes along, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to butcher the pronunciation, so maybe I'll just call her like Jade, because it's like the first part of her name, Jadeja, Jade. And so I was like, can I just go with Jade? And they're like, no, like pronounce her full name. And I go, honestly, VOGs, you're gonna have to like help me out with this one. I don't want to butcher the pronunciation. So they told me they would be like, it's pronounced Jadeja, Kevin. And I'm like, okay, perfect. I later found out Jadeja hates being called Jade, so good thing I never said that.
Good thing you didn't say that. Did they give you an option to play as yourself or a catfish?
So basically, you that all gets deciphered like early on in the casting process, right? Because you then, when you start at the very start, and then you have to go progress until you get to the big dogs, the big casting producers and production, and basically pitch yourself. So when I first got reached out to about the show, they try to get my personality. They asked me a bunch of questions, scenario stuff. And I remember that I originally was just going to go in. I didn't want to go in as sales, just because, like you said, the picture was already giving frat douchebag. So I didn't want them to think I was frat douchebag who does sales and is trying to like finesse people. So right. I work in the wine and alcohol industry. So originally I was like, okay, I can just say like I work at a winery or something, or I could just say I just work in the alcohol industry. And then somebody along the process kind of brought up the idea of like, yo, Kev, San Diego, you kind of give off this like surfer, like kind of
You
vibe.
do.
What if we, one of those, I guess we'll toss up one of those. There we go, DT. And so they go, what if we did something along with that? And I remember I was like, what, like a freaking lifeguard or something? And the light bulb went off in their head and they go, that right there. The thing about me is, yeah, I'm from San Diego. Yeah, I grew up right next to the beach, but I never did lifeguard stuff. I never surfed or any of that type of stuff. So I was like, okay, sweet, we can roll with it, but I don't know anything about it. And then once we kind of pitched that, production was like, yeah, we love that. We're going with that. Everybody asked me, why'd you do the lifeguard? And I'm like, people, it just worked until it didn't.
It worked. It didn't work until, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the producers fed that to Deb, so that's the reason why I'm be completely honest. You don't have to say it, but I think they fed that to Deb to do that part. Was it, how difficult was it to keep it, what happened on the show, a secret after filming? Because I know y'all filmed a year ago. How hard was that to keep it from everybody, even your parents? I think you had to keep it from your parents too, didn't you?
So like your parents obviously know that you're gone, right? But you can't go into like details of like what happened. Like obviously they're gonna know if you win. You know, they're gonna know if you win because all of a sudden you got 100 bands in your account and they're like, what are you doing as your side hustle? Because holy smokes, that's a lot of money. But the trickiest was friends and coworkers, because you just fall off of the face of the earth essentially for what, 3 weeks. You're obviously going to have some people concerned about you. So it was immediate when I got my phone back. I think like the first time I posted on like an Instagram story, everybody was like, where the heck have you been? What happened? And I just had to say, like, I had to tell work, like, oh, I was gone for like personal, like family reasons, you know, like I was gone for family. So it was so hard. It probably sounded so sketchy, but I just had to be so vague about my whereabouts. And I think some people were like, yo, is this guy in the mafia or something? Like, what's going on here? But
yeah, like he was in jail.
Yeah, that.
What KFern do now? Man, well, yeah, he probably locked up, y'all. That's why we ain't heard nothing from.
I was about to say
when he get out.
That probably would have been less shocking than reality TV as the excuse.
Right. Oh, next question. How nerve-wracking was it waiting to see if you got blocked? Did the producers ever ask you to exaggerate your reaction or re-record moments if they weren't dramatic enough?
It was very nerve-wracking. I think that it got more nerve-wracking for me, obviously, the longer that I was there. Because I showed up to the show just honestly happy to be there. Like, I was just stoked to be there. I didn't expect a whole lot. I was like, you know what? I'm just here to have a great experience. Didn't have a whole lot of gameplay, as you guys could probably see. And then as each blocking kind of occurred, it starts to hit you like, yo, I could win this. Like, holy smokes, I can make this happen. So once, I would say after like the third blocking, it gets more and more nerve-wracking because you start to see the finish line. Like, you see the light at the end of the tunnel and you're like, I can actually start to win this. So those blockings where I was not an influencer, granted, there weren't that many, you know.
There weren't that many.
Those ones were so nerve-wracking. And just to heighten the nerves a little bit more, whenever there was a blocking and it says blocked, or like blocked player is going to come see you or whatever it may be, the producers go and knock on everybody's door. So the reactions that you get of people like looking at your door like that are legit because it's someone knocking on the door. And like, or like the producers will like pull on the handle and you're like, holy smoke, someone's about to walk into they're about to walk in my apartment. So those reactions are like for real.
Okay, you answer the question. So those are real. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
They do that to everybody.
Yeah, or like, you know, sometimes they won't have you like play up a reaction per se, but like there were instances where maybe the audio was messed up, or like your shirt got in front of the microphone during like a big moment or something. They would be like, can we run that back really quick, because like we didn't catch the audio. And so you would have to run back that big moment. That was very rare though. That was like a couple of one-offs. But a lot, like truthfully, a lot of the reactions are just genuine reactions, even the ones where they're knocking on the door because you think someone's coming to visit you.
Okay. You answer a question on that. While y'all was locked down, did y'all get to watch TVs or movies or anything? Nothing. No TV.
DT,
So
I read my first book since probably 8th grade. That's how bored I was.
Yeah, I don't know about that work with me. I don't know if that work with me.
Okay, I will say though. So if you make it far long enough in the game, I think if you're like top 6 or something, it's around after like a week and a half or so. You get one rest day out of your entire period of filming, and on that rest day, all cameras are off. You can watch whatever you want on Netflix. You can watch whatever Netflix shows or movies that you want, and they order you whatever like food you want for that day, so you don't have to cook for yourself. So you get one rest day to like let the voice chill for a second, because man, I was losing my voice in there. To really let your body rest, because some of these days people don't realize, like some of these days you're filming for what, 20 hours or something, or like 19 hours. So like it can add up. And so you get a rest day to kind of just like reset and then get back into it the next day.
So your rest day, what did you do?
My rest day. Ooh. First and foremost, I slept in. I slept so much. I made some tea because I was one of the people who lost their voice. I'm a loud guy, people. Like I was yelling a lot in there.
We know.
And then, so right before I went to the circle, I had watched this Netflix documentary on the University of Florida football team called Swamp Kings. And when I watched that, it was like, it like got me back into my athlete mind frame of when I was in college. And it really like locked me in to be like, yo, this is a competition. Like you are competing against other people right now who want to take this money from you. So I watched that and it locked me like back in. So I watched that, and then like Black Mirror, I think I watched a couple Will Ferrell movies, and then I asked them, can you just order me whatever is like the go-to food in Atlanta? And they got me.
What'd they get you?
They got me lemon pepper wings with hot flakes.
I'm a wing connoisseur. Let you know that about me. I love wings. Ask anybody. That's all I eat. When I used to coach sports, when we used to travel, they know Coach D the first thing he's going to eat is some wings. So I love wings. I used to be a diehard lemon pepper fan. Not so much no more. I love lemon pepper, but I love spicy ranch. That's my favorite, spicy ranch.
I'm usually a go-to, like if they just have like traditional hot on there, I'm rocking with that. I usually like that, but I had never had I've had lemon pepper before, but not with the hot flakes. So I was like, let's give it a shot. But I guess
spicy lemon pepper, basically.
Yeah, spicy lemon pepper. But I told people after I was done filming and stuff where I got the wings, and they said the place that they got them from was kind of.
What place?
It was called like Jiminy Crickets or something.
JR Crickets.
JR Crickets. Yeah.
They're not. No, JR Crickets is not the spot. They went to the wrong spot. JR Crickets used to be the spot in early 2000. Yes.
Got you.
JR Crickets is not the spot no more. It's a lot of good spots. The best wings, if you ever come back to Georgia and you ever come to Georgia, I'll take you to it. So we definitely go there.
Let's run it.
It's the mom and pop. The local, not the franchise, not the wing place. It's the mom and pop one. They'll have the best wings.
Hey, everybody, food review coming soon. When I get back to Atlanta, we're running up wings.
Yes, let's do wings. I'm gonna take you to all the hot spots, and you can try. I'm gonna take you to the real good food in Georgia.
Say less.
I want to jump into something real quick. This is not one of my questions. One of my least favorite people on the show, probably my least favorite, was your nemesis, Rachel, aka Deb. Was not a fan. I'm gonna tell you from day one. When I seen her, I knew I wasn't gonna like her. And I'm gonna tell you this: all my people who watch the show, that's their least favorite already. Right after rip, they said no, they don't. Nobody's a fan of her. They said she's loud for absolutely no reason. She was not a fan favorite. People wanted her voted off soon. I didn't like how she treated you. My ex even said she don't like her. Like everybody, nobody liked Deb. Nobody liked that. Nobody didn't like her. And I was trying to figure out, I said, to me, when you posted that on your Instagram, she's the villain. You wasn't a villain. She was the villain because to me, she played a game that her comments, I'm going to be honest, the way she posted messages, I would have been voting her out. She would always been at the bottom of my list because I read just different.
Hey.
So how did you feel about that dynamic between y'all two on the show?
Oh, I hated her. I hated Deb. I felt like Deb was the luckiest, or Rachel. I love Deb. I hate Rachel. I thought Rachel was the luckiest player of all time simply because she had an alliance with Gianna, and she just got saved every single week because she had this like stupid alliance with Gianna that was just based off the fact they're both from New York. Like that always rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, there has to be something more to this alliance than that they're just from New York, because this isn't making sense. And
right.
I just thought that Deb would always pile on to what like Gianna was saying. So if Gianna was going in on something on me, then Deb was going in on me. And it doesn't matter what the conversation was. Rachel always had something to say about me. I was living in Rachel's head rent-free or something. She always had something to say about me. So I genuinely like, you know, when you're living in that scenario, that becomes like your life. You know, this game becomes your life. So the people that I'm kind of like closer with, those are your quote unquote friends in this scenario. So you get close to them. The people that rub you the wrong way or like cross you or something, they really become your enemy. So I was really sitting in my apartment like, I hate Rachel and Gianna. I hate them.
Right.
And oh my gosh, at the finale.
Let's not jump into that. We ain't gonna talk about it right now. Let's not talk about it right now. Let me tell you the reason why Rachel, aka Deb, didn't like you. The reason why you like her because she looked at you and seen this young frat boy that when at that age probably would have dissed her if she tried to holler at him. So she was jealous and she envied and she didn't like that. So she held it against you because there was nothing that you did, nothing that you said, and nothing you said in any of the text messages for her to automatically dislike you. So that's my take on it.
Hey, DT, that's a new take. And you know what? I don't hate it.
And if Deb see this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. I'm sorry, but I felt like she was out for you no reason. I'm gonna be honest. She made me like you even more because she was out to get you for vengeance. When her and Gianna teamed up against you, that made me really pull for you because I felt like at that stage you was the underdog in a way.
Thank you, DT. Thank you. And I will tell you, whew, man, oh man, did I feel like the underdog at some point. Sometimes I felt like I was just getting dogpiled any type of conversation because everybody was kissing Gianna's butt, especially Rachel. And so what was the common theme for Gianna at that time? Throw Kevin under the bus anytime she can. So it felt like that sometimes. Holy smokes. But I appreciate you rocking with me.
Oh, yeah. And the twins was actually my second favorite, but I think they were jealous of your hair. And they talked about the hair too much. Like, dude, get off the dude hair. Why y'all keep talking about the dude hair? Like the whole time they were talking about the dude hair, and I think a lot of it, and I hate to tell you, I got a degree in psychology too, a master's degree. A lot of time it was a mental thing. I think it was a jealousy because don't be honest, you're an attractive guy, attractive looking. It was a jealousy thing. It was kind of like, and the twins, they're not bad looking dudes either, but I think it was a little jealousy thing that it was someone else looked on their level. They was just like, oh, we got another one on here like us, because the twins had good hair too. So I think it was just a jealousy thing. And they came in as Gianna. So it was kind of like, let's target him. I think a lot of it had to do with your profile pic. I think your profile pic, if it was a different pic, I don't think Gianna would have been so much, the twins, the brothers would have been so much going at you. But I think Rachel just really wanted to have something to do. It was just she was just out to get you the whole time.
I agree. I agree. If I changed that profile pic to something where I just didn't look as douchey as I did in mine, I think it could have changed everybody's perceptions about me. Because when I meet everybody in real life, or when I met them in real life, they were like, you do not give off the vibe of your profile pic. And I'm like, okay, man, that was step number one where I went wrong. Out of the many steps where I went wrong.
Right. Yeah, the many steps you went wrong because you kept jumping the lines and you kept joining different people.
I know, DT.
Yeah, you did it too many times. And I'm gonna be honest, I got a question in here. Yeah, I'm gonna jump to this one because it's right on. It's coming up in a way. We already talked about that. You already talked about how long film lasted. This is my thing. Do you feel like the producers purposely chose certain people like Gianna to be immune because they were good for TV? Because at first, blocking, I felt the producers did a switcheroo, and that's the reason why they gave Gianna, of course, the immune to be blocked, because they knew the twins were good for TV.
That is a crazy way to put it. That, because I will say, the whole disruptor thing was kind of wonky to a lot of us, right? Like the fact that it was just weird. Like I would have rather it be like a button that we had pressed or something like that. Like, and this is kind of an opinion that I know a lot of my friends who watch it too. They're like, it's the first person to yell disrupt on the count of 3 or something. Like that's kind of,
and we don't really know who actually yelled first in a way, but go ahead.
So no, that's what like was kind of confusing to people. I think that it would have, and this is just my opinion, I think that it would have been more clear if there was like a button on the other side of the room or something. And it's like, you can't get up and press the disruptor button until it's 3, 2, 1, go. So, you know, I don't know, like, I don't know how it worked behind that, but I have heard that.
Well, I look at it like, and like I told you, I told you a little bit, I have been on production sets a lot of time, been on music video sets. I done did quite a few things. And I know, and I have a couple of friends that's in the entertainment field, and I know producers do certain things to make sure the show go the way they want to. And I felt like when I seen the disruptor, when I seen that added to the show, I said, oh, they're trying to fix the show. I'm gonna be honest. I know you don't need to say it. Nobody need to say it. But when I seen that, I said, yeah, they're fixing the show. They're trying to fix it, because if somebody could give whoever they want the disruptor, because especially if someone y'all at the blocking, whatever you call the diary room or wherever y'all go, what y'all call that when you go talk to each?
They call it, oh, I know it well now. They call it the influencer hangout, because DT, the amount of times I butchered the name of it, I would be like, all right, time to go to the influencer room. And the producers would be like, it's called the hangout, Kevin, remember? And I'm like, okay. All right, time to go to the influencer, like the influencer man cave. And they're like, Kev, it's called the hangout.
So yeah, they need to change the name of it, call it the Kevin and Gianna room, because y'all was there so much. Like y'all was there every weekend, every time somebody getting a block. Who's 1 or 2? Kevin and Gianna. Yeah, that's what it should have been. I think that the disruptor was this season, because I think a couple seasons it was hard for them to dictate how they wanted to go, because they really couldn't dictate certain ways. So they said, let's bring this into, so we could kind of meant we could kind of control the game from our end. Not saying you know anything about that. You don't have to vouch for that. I don't want you to. Ain't trying to mess up your paper or anything. So you stay away from that. That's just my take on it. And if the producers want to hit me up, I tell them the same thing too. So we already jumped on this. I'm gonna skip this question about being a villain. My question is, and I thought about this at the end of the show. Would you think it have been awkward if Jadeja or Dorian what's the name? Darian had been revealed as a catfish since they were flirting with each other so much?
Heck yeah. And I know we've had this conversation, like all of us hanging out with each other, or like me, D, and Jadeja like hanging out with each other, being like, what if she really thought in her head when it said, oh, Darian's coming to visit you? She told us, like, I did have like a small back of my brain being like, what if this is just a 60-year-old man who is pulling up to my room right now? But then, of course, she said, she was like, I don't know. Like, we had conversations, like, you know, after they met, she goes, I just knew it was him type of thing. But I thought it would have been wild, also hilarious, if it was a 60-year-old man, because they had their, you know, they had their thing going. Like, you know, they were connecting, you know, flirting with each other and whatnot. And I think that would have been great TV if it ended up being a 60-year-old man. But obviously now they're engaged and about to be married. So
I've seen.
I'm glad. And guess who's in the wedding?
I did. The circle wedding. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
there'll be a big circle in the wedding. I'm gonna tell you this. They were two of my least favorites on the show.
What? You're lying.
And I'm gonna tell you, that's why I said I was gonna tell you. I normally support for the black contestants on the show. I wanted them to vote it out so early in the show. I didn't like neither one of their gameplay at all. I didn't like Jadeja. She didn't play a good game. I didn't think Darian played a good game. I wanted them like, please go, don't get them out the show. Vote them out.
And there's the tea, ladies and gentlemen. There is the tea, hot and ready to serve.
I'm be honest. Here go. I know they're your friends, and I don't want no hate or nothing like that. Their voices irked me. I didn't like hearing their voice. It was like I didn't like the voices. It was irking me, and it just kind of like the gameplay wasn't like, it wasn't really trying to play the game. It's more felt me they were looking for love, and I'm like, this is not Love Island. So you want Love Island, go on Love Island. I felt like this, y'all supposed to be trying to play to win, and I felt like Jadeja didn't play to win. She played to look for a man. He played to look for a woman, and it was just like I was like. And I wanted, and I'm being honest, man, I be wanting so much. I always like supporting the black contestants on shows so much because we really don't get to shine, or we don't get to play in a lot of these big reality shows. We don't get to win as much, and I'd be trying to support them. And it was like hard, man. It was really hard for me. And I like, come on, Kevin, win the game.
I can understand. I can understand that perspective. I think to their credit, though, there are or I know since I've gone back and watched some other seasons of The Circle where coupling up and having that one strong alliance of like somebody the opposite gender can help, gain perspective from that side of things and whatnot. Because I know they both had like their eyes on the prize, like they both were trying to get that money. But I think that like that is a type. I obviously coupled up with Savannah at the start, and then certain things started to fall apart. But I know I have seen certain contestants who do like couple up, and it can take them far in the game. So that might have been part of their gameplay too.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I think congratulations on them getting engaged. I got nothing against them, so I don't want them, if they see this, I don't want them thinking that I dislike them or hate them. They probably won't really don't care. And it's not that. It's just as a contestant on the show, I wasn't a fan of their gameplay. I felt like I'm a big reality buff. I don't watch Survivor. I don't watch Amazing Race. I don't watch Big Brother. Big Brother, my favorite of all time. I don't see The Circle. It's so many reality shows I don't watch. And I look at this and I was like, they didn't play the game. It wasn't like they wasn't playing the game to win. They was playing like they were looking for love. And that's why I said, I noticed that from, I think it was episode 3. I started saying like, are y'all looking for love or y'all not? It was the voice. The voice it was like, it's cringe every time they talk. It was cringe. And I'm like, man, I want to pull for them. But I was happy they made it as far. But when they got voted out, I didn't lose no sleep. I was like, okay, good, they gone. But they wasn't the worst. It's still the bottom 2 was Rachel and Garrett. Those are my least 2 favorites of the whole show.
Least 2 favorites.
Least 2 favorites. Garrett came in. He came in playing that flamboyant way, and that's why I didn't like. I like, dude, you don't have to come on here and be flamboyant. And it was like that his personality. I said, dude, you're not gonna last because the way he was acting. And then plus, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Anybody can tell you this. Anybody who know I watch reality show, I hate when you cry on shows. I hate when people cry. I hate crying. I hate in reality show when you end up crying. Suck it up. I don't like emotional because it's just, to me, it's weak. You're playing the game and he got emotional on the show, and I'm like, I like this. Like, no, not crying. I don't like crying on shows. I don't like crying on reality shows and stuff like that because like people get heartbroken when certain people get voted off. I'll be like this. This
Fair.
man. Okay.
Fair.
You got voted off? Okay, cool. Hey, I'm good. I'm trying to win.
Fair. So, like, yeah. No, Garrett's my freaking dog. I would say like I could kind of tell he was playing the middle, and then of course when he got voted off, he kind of talked about how he was playing the middle. Because I had an alliance with Garrett for.
You had an alliance with everyone.
I had an alliance with Garrett, and then I could kind of see where his gameplay was because he would agree with things that Gianna was saying. And so I was like, okay, fair enough. When you come into this game later, you can't afford to be necessarily siding with someone who is obviously public enemy number 1, aka me. So I understood why he was, siding with Gianna in group chats and stuff like that. I kind of saw that when he first entered the game, but he was doing what he had to do to survive. And like the one thing is I'm not a very emotional guy personally, really not me, but I will say emotions do get heightened when you are in that isolation and you haven't talked to anybody in a freaking minute. And so then when you start to like connect with someone on like a level outside of the game per se, it's so different. It's so weird, but it's so different. So like, there was times where I wasn't getting too emotional, but like I was really feeling it. I'm like, why am I feeling an emotion about this person on a TV show right now? And then I'm like, okay, right. I'm in a completely unknown environment right now. I haven't talked to somebody in weeks. This is my one like thing that I can attach to. So like, some people like when they be getting emotional, I'm like, run with it.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
I have, and I could probably be honest with this. I probably under 20 times in my entire life I have ever cried.
Dang.
Under 20. Either a funeral, I was going through something dramatic with my ex. That's it. Nope. I really don't. I don't cry. I don't show my emotions like that. So it would be hard for me. So like if I was on there, y'all would not. I would care less. And like I'll be watching some of the reality show. You get voted out. Like I'll be watching Big Brother. They get voted out. Like I'm trying to win the money. Shit, what the fuck? I ain't got time for crying. I'm trying to win money.
See,
I'm trying to win it all.
DT, that's the mind frame that I went into the game with too. You know me, like before I went on this show, I'm in sales, in sales at the end of the day, there's a job that you have to do, you make friends along the way, but you do have to sell stuff at the end of the day, conduct business. So I'm a competitor as well. I come from a competitive track background, competitive with my brother growing up. I approach the game as these are a bunch of people that I don't know on a personal level, and I don't even know if they're real. I don't even know if their profile's real or anything. And we're all
Right.
competing for life-changing money of $100,000. So no matter the conversations I was having, I remembered that goal at the end. And like, I'm just thinking to myself, I have a family to feed. Like, this is great that I'm making connections with these people, but I'm going to do what I need to do to get to that point. Some people, like,
Right.
you're in isolation. You have these genuine connections or genuine conversations that you don't plan on having. And so you do get an unexpected emotional connection with someone that you didn't typically see yourself having going into the game. So I think
Right.
that it's a different mind frame for some people kind of going into it.
Yeah.
Me, I just every night.
I watch a lot of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, me, every single night I was going to bed, I was like, oh my gosh, we're one night closer to 100K. Let's freaking go. Like, let's run it.
Was it hard to sleep at night? Thinking about that?
The night of where the next morning was the finale, I didn't sleep at all. I didn't sleep. I was the most nervous I think I ever was. And matter of fact, I've never told this story before, but the night before the finale.
Wait. Say that for the next show. Don't tell that story. Let's say that for the next show. I want a quick game. Save that. I got a quick game I want to play with you on this show before we wrap up the first episode.
Let's do it.
Save that for the next show because that's gonna be good. Okay, so real quick, I'm playing a game with KFern. It's called One's Gotta Go. So okay. I'm gonna give him different topics, and I'm gonna give him different, like say for instance, promise I'm gonna give you three or four different options. You got to tell me one's got to go. You got to get rid of for the rest of your life, forever. All right, you ready?
Let's run it.
Okay, social media apps: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat. One's got to go.
Oh, YouTube, Instagram. You know what? I'm gonna get rid. We already did it for a day. I'm getting rid of TikTok. We did it for a day already, people. I'm getting rid of TikTok.
Okay, streaming services, and you better not say the one you better not say.
Yeah. Hey.
Hulu, Disney Plus, or Prime Video.
Disney Plus. I love Disney.
I knew you. I knew you would say that.
I don't watch enough Disney for it.
Okay. Fast food chains, because you eat at a lot of it.
Ooh. You know me and my fast food, DT.
Yeah, you eat that fast food. I always see them posted. In-N-Out Burger, Chick-fil-A, Panda Express, Chipotle. One got to go.
Ooh. Chipotle.
Wow. Okay.
I'd rather get tacos from the freaking taco stand. Truthfully, I was raised with genuine Mexican food, so I'm going Chipotle.
Okay. Pop stars: Taylor Swift, Harry Styles, or Doja Cat. One got to go.
Doja. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Classic cartoons: SpongeBob SquarePants, The Simpsons, Adventure Time, Rugrats. One's got to go.
Adventure Time.
Popular sneakers: Jordans, Adidas, Yeezys, Vans, Converse. One's got to go.
Vans. I was never a Vans guy growing up. I was Converse over Vans.
Okay. Fashion trends: bucket hats, oversized hoodies, crop tops, ripped jeans. One's got to go.
Ripped jeans. I went through my ripped jean phase. I'm not bringing it back.
Music: hip hop, pop, rock, EDM. One got to go.
EDM. Not an EDM guy. That was a quick one. Not an EDM guy.
School subjects: math, history, English, science. One's got to go.
You could have stopped it at math. Later. Sayonara. Didn't need to hear the rest of the question.
You didn't hear it. Video games: Fortnite, Call of Duty, Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto. One got to go.
Minecraft. I'm more into the other ones. Minecraft.
Yeah, because you in Cali, so you got like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Hey, I live in the Bay Area. I live Grand Theft Auto every day.
I know, right? Gen Z slang. No cap. Slay. Bet. Sus. One's got to go.
What was the second one?
Slay.
Oh, Savannah uses slay all the time. No cat slay. Sorry, Sav. I'm getting rid of slay. I don't use it enough on the day-to-day.
Movie franchises. Marvel. Harry Potter, Star Wars, Fast and Furious.
Harry Potter.
Okay. Snacks. Hot Cheetos, Takis, whatever y'all call them. Doritos, Hot Flaming Funyuns.
Oh my gosh. Notice how the toughest ones are snacks and fast food.
Yeah.
Hot Flaming Funyuns.
Okay. Celebrity power couples. Rihanna, A$AP Rocky, Beyonce and Jay-Z, Zendaya and Tom Holland, Kim Kardashian or Kanye West. One's got to go. I already know who I want gone.
Well, you want Kim K and Kanye gone? They're gone. They're gone.
Gone. Out the door. And the last question. One's got to go. Savannah, Judea, Darian, and Madeline. One got to go.
Oh, one's got to go. One's got to go. Frick, you're trying to get messy. You know, we had a great thing, but she lied.
And I'm gonna throw it right.
Oh, you know what? At the end of the day, she lied to me about my dog Darian. I'm sorry, Madeline.
Madeline gotta go. Gotta go. All right, man. Well, that was good for that game. Hope you enjoyed it.
I loved it. I love that game.
All right, man. Well, hey, everyone, this is your boy DT. I appreciate everybody tuning into part one of the sit down with my guy KFern. We're gonna come back on part two. Definitely check it out. So we're gonna talk about this reunion because I want to know the details behind what happened in this reunion. Also, we're gonna talk a little bit more about gameplay because I got some other questions I want to ask them about the circle, and then also we're gonna jump into more about KFern as the person and a little bit about where he grew up at, a little bit about where he want to go, and just get to know him as Kevin. Because we know KFern, we will know Kevin. So we'll learn a little more about that. So I appreciate you, man. You being a guest on my show. I really enjoyed it. You want to say anything before we end up this first episode?
Heck yeah. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me on. People, tap back in for the part two because this is where we're going to talk about some juicy stuff. And if you want, go ahead, check out the IG at Kev H. Fernandez. That's really where I keep everybody updated on my day-to-days and kind of what I'm doing. And I just truly got to say, I appreciate you having me on here.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. Once again, this is your boy DT. You can follow me on all my social media platforms. It's at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you subscribe to my platform. Go check out my Instagram. If you're into sports, that's what I do a lot of. I cover a lot of top athletes in the country. In a couple of weeks, I get to meet the I'm gonna get to check out the #1 player in the state of Georgia in high school basketball, and he's number 6 in the nation. So he'll be playing at one of the showcases I'm working. So I get to check him out. But hey, definitely check out me, follow me. I appreciate everybody who tuned in, and I'll see you on part 2 of this episode.
It's DT. You have just now listened to the most talked about podcast in the country. DT Unfiltered Uncensored. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next time. Damn.